I'm trying to figure out a way to get dispensary or collective owners, whatever they want to call them these days, to be able to, when patients come in and they're trying CBD-rich medicine, to be able to do your survey. So many of them say they're going to do it, but we don't know if they did it or not.
It's true.
Is there a way to download the survey? Because what I'm thinking of doing is being able to download the survey, give it to the collective owners, and when they dispatch CBD-rich medicine, asking the patient if they would be willing to fill that form out, because when they bring it back, they get, you know, a donation.
It's a very good idea. It's a very, very good idea.
But can we download it and print it off?
I'll put you in touch with the Society of Cannabis Clinicians. Shockingly, this hasn't been thought of before. It's not our survey. It's the doctor's survey.
Okay.
We're journalists and activists. We're not the doctor, and the doctors can't relate directly to dispensaries in California. They're actually not supposed to, according to federal law. The Conant decision, which allows doctors to recommend cannabis, says doctors can't supply it or can't inform patients where to get it, how to get it. That's supposedly the firewall. So, we'll make sure that we find this out and we'll talk
I think
afterwards.
that would be
That makes a lot of sense.
People, especially when they're
It would be an
ill,
encouragement.
have a hard time with, you know, following through with that. If we can make it any easier for them to complete
And
that.
you can do a little
because
inducement or
that's the only
reward,
thing
and you're
else.
encouraging them to come back then, and you're in customer loyalty, that kind of thing.
Well, and it's the only way we know how it's working for different conditions,
Yeah.
is if they fill out the form, and that's been the most difficult part for me, is not getting the medicine out there, is getting the people to tell us how it worked for them.
Well, the Project CBD website will become that forum. It's been on hold for a while for various reasons that we need to go into, but it's about to be revived again in conjunction with a couple of other websites we have since launched. Smoke Signal is the book website. I have a lot of stuff on there, also a Facebook page, a lot of material there. Project CBD Facebook page. Best way to relate to Project CBD right now is through Facebook. Got a question? Put it on Facebook. Put it for everybody to see. We've got quite a few people that check in. Also, there's beyondthc.com. That's the last thing we listed. That's the online version of O'Shaughnessy's publication. In a way, it is. Let's put it that way. It's an idiosyncratic website, but very informative in terms of medical marijuana, science, politics, etc. So we'll hook it all up so one goes to the other. And we're trying to drag ourselves kicking and screaming into the social media age. Oh, it's already beyond that, I'm sure. But anyway, so we're taking that step now and make it easier to stay plugged in. And we've always envisioned ourselves first and foremost as an information platform to bring information to folks, share information. We need support to do that. We need to get money to do that. We need to figure that end of it out. So originally we thought in California dispensaries would pay to have their logo on our website, and it would indicate that you can get CBD-rich medicine from that dispensary. Just a little like not exactly an advertisement, but a listing. But it's a way of they showing that they're member or partners or something. The problem is most of those dispensaries no longer exist. They've been shut down because of federal intervention. So we lost entirely our financial base and our 1.5-time employee. So we have to kind of respond like the plant. That's a sobering thought. I know there's a big controversy about Initiative 502, is it called?
It's very controversial.
But good to keep in mind in California, after Prop 19 failed, some were predicting if this doesn't pass, they're going to kick the shit out of us. And that's what happened. And it's really the whole scene in California. It will survive. It will need to. It will, like the plant, it will adapt. But because they can't suppress the plant, because people want it. But still, it's a confusing time, and it's sort of part of what Project CBD is doing right now, trying to reposition ourselves amidst all this chaos, so we can function in the way we know we can function. We want to function. Please.
Isn't it illegal for you to patent a plant? And if so, how can the government have a plant on?
Well, good question. They don't actually patent the plant or the compound or compounds in the plant. What they can patent is a compound used for something disseminated a certain way, or You can copyright the whole the whole bundle. You can't just copyright the raw plant itself, unless you change a gene or do something. But you can copy its purpose and the way of delivering it. And they identified certain aspects of cannabinoids, but nothing much came of the patent. What came of it was what's almost blocked the research. The research stumbled in this area for various reasons, neuroprotection and whatnot. For various reasons, it wasn't really pursued. They discovered this amazing stuff, and they had this patent. But the patent is, I think, almost up. They had to turn it. It's now public, and now they turn it over to some company that would try to do something with it.
Well, when you read the patent, it's 36 pages long. That's been a long time trying to decipher the whole thing. But it states in there that if you have an ischemic event, like a heart attack or a stroke or a brain injury where you're going to have inflammation in your brain, they know, depending on how many kilograms of body weight you weigh and how many milligrams of CBD to administer, whether it's subcutaneous, IV, intramuscularly, on your tongue, however. They know exactly how much to give you within 2 hours of the event to stop those effects from that event, meaning the paralysis and those things. They know exactly how much to give for a dosage to stop.
For animals.
Brain damage, the paralysis.
They know it for animals, and they've sort of
Right,
extrapolated for people.
Yeah, but they've
For
got
that
it
kind of thing.
figured out,
Yeah.
and they're sitting on it because we've got the DEA on one hand going, oh, it's not medicine, and the health department going, yeah, it is, and it's all our government go figure.
See, in terms of ischemic events, not just CBD, it turns out the CB2 receptor that's kind of blossoms in the brain after an ischemic event. It's hidden. It doesn't appear very much, except when you have an ischemic event. Then the CB2 receptor, the peripheral receptor, oddly enough, appears in the brain in dense quantity and exerts a neuroprotective effect when it's transmitted. It's a peculiar kind of thing. So there are drug companies that have developed drugs that just activate the CB2 receptors, and then they try it for ischemic events. In Israel, they found that actually was working as a neuroprotectant for strokes. And then there was a startup company that started to work with it, and there was a screw-up that happened. And somehow, very interesting research never quite got them to carry through in this particular area. But the science is very provocative. As for dosages, and there are people who are talking about dosages. Again, we're trying to find this out. I could recommend doctors in California who work mostly with CBD that probably could tell you something about what they're finding from their patients in terms of dosages of CBD-rich extracts. There's that information around. If you ask that question on the Project CBD website, you'll probably get some interesting answers if you have specific questions. Not the website, the Facebook site.